Namaste listeners. Welcome to the Yuva Vani program on the occasion of the World Book Day. I'm JeenamsiNgadong from the Lohit Youth Libraries. And with me is
Keselo Tayang,
Sakelu Chikro,
Anjangmai ma'am,
Behelti ama, Ashapmai Dellang,
Laxmi Ngadong,
Rinya Dellang.
all members of the Forum of Library Activists. Today, books make our lives. That's why International World Book Day is being celebrated on April 23rd. It is the birthday of William Shakespeare, one of the greatest writers to contribute to English literature. But books are not only in English. It is important even in small languages like in Arunachal. That's why this World Book Day we are focusing on how our own people of Arunachal should become more connected with the books. Books must become close to our people and they must be able to use books to change their lives. People of Arunachal should no more remain confined to our little words. Worldview will come to our people only if we start reading. Though TV or internet may provide information, but they cannot provide motivation to people to progress. Internet and TV have limitation, but books can be our companions lifelong. Dosto, do you ever keep seeing the same film again and again on TV? But we can read a book 1,000 times, still find it so fun or inspiring. Library habits are not only for young students. It should be more important for college, university students, housewives, and parents. If a parent doesn't read, how will a child get motivated to read? What inspiration can you give as a parent or teacher to your children? Is learning in life only getting marks? Can human beings create magic? Yes, a writer like Roald Dahl can. Roald Dahl's books are the proof of magic cast on lakhs of young people. We library volunteers grew up always in love with his book. Let's hear Keselo Tayang talk about him and his outstanding book Matilda in Hindi.
हर कोई पैदाइश रीडर नहीं होता, किसी किसी को ये आदत अपनानी पड़ती है, पर हम ये करें कैसे? क्या आप कभी किसी स्टोरी बुक में इतना डूबे हैं कि आपको अपने आसपास के बारे में कोई खबर नहीं कि आपके अगल बगल क्या हो रहा है? आप बस अपने आप को उस स्टोरी बुक के सीन्स में विजुअलाइज करने लगते हैं और उस स्टोरी का हिस्सा बन जाते हैं। मेरे साथ हुआ है ऐसा। टू बी ऑनेस्ट, मैं पहले कभी एक रीडर नहीं थी। एक दिन की बात है, जब मैं लाइब्रेरी में थी तब मेरी नज़रें एक किताब पर पड़ी। उस किताब के कवर पर एक क्रोकोडाइल की पिक्चर बनी हुई थी जिसके बड़े बड़े नुकीले और चमकदार दांत थे। किताब का नाम था द एनॉर्मस क्रोकोडाइल, रिटन बाय रोल्ड डाल। मुझे आज भी बहुत क्लियरली याद है कि कैसे मैं बहुत एक्साइटमेंट और स्माइल के साथ उस स्टोरी बुक को पढ़ने बैठ गई थी। I was so curious to know the story that I read a whole story in no time. Generally, ये स्टोरी एक नेस्टी, लालची और भूखी क्रोकोडाइल की है जो अपने लंच में बच्चों को खाने की सपने देखता है और वो भी एटलीस्ट 3 बच्चे। बट ग्रीड इज नेवर गुड और जंगल के सारे जानवर एक साथ मिलकर उसे रोकने की कोशिश करते हैं। इट वॉज सच एन अम्यूजिंग स्टोरी। जिस तरह से रोल्ड डाल ने उस कहानी को लिखा था वो मुझे बहुत पसंद आया। उस स्टोरी बुक को पढ़ लेने के बाद आई वॉज सो इंटरेस्टेड इन रोल्ड डाल्स राइटिंग्स कि मैंने उनका और एक स्टोरी बुक उठा लिया। उस स्टोरी बुक का नाम था मटिल्डा। संडे के दिन ब्रेकफास्ट कर लेने के बाद मैं मटिल्डा पढ़ने बैठ गई और आप यकीन नहीं करोगे, मैं उस स्टोरी बुक में इतना खो गई थी कि आई डिडंट इवन गॉट अप फॉर माई लंच। मुझे याद है मम्मी मुझसे बोली, समाय तुम ऐसा भी क्या पढ़ रही हो सवेरे से कि तुम्हें भूख तक नहीं लग रही? बट आई शूड अवे माई मदर विदाउट इवन लुकिंग अप एट हर और मैंने खुद को कमरे में शाम तक लॉक कर लिया। ये कहानी बेसिकली एक छोटी लड़की के बारे में है जिसका नाम मटिल्डा वॉर्मवुड है और वो एक बहुत बड़ी बुक लवर है जो कि 4 साल की उम्र में ही बड़ों की स्टोरी बुक्स पढ़ सकती है। She is an extraordinary genius with really stupid parents. मिस ट्रंचबुल उसकी डरावनी हेडमिस्ट्रेस है जो अपने सारे स्टूडेंट्स को एक सड़े हुए छोटे बदबूदार प्राणी समझती है। पर मटिल्डा इन सारे भयंकर ग्रोन अप्स को दिखाती है कि भले ही वो छोटी है पर उसके साथ बहुत सारे पावरफुल ट्रिक्स हैं उन सभी को सबक सिखाने के लिए। नाउ लेट मी रीड आउट अ सीन फ्रॉम द स्टोरी फॉर यू ऑल। One day, Matilda's principal came to her class and said, "Read Nicholas Nickel by Miss Honey, by Mr. Dickens. Read about Mr. Wackford Squares, the admirable headmaster of Dodball's Hall. He knew how to handle the little brutes, didn't he? He knew how to use the birch, didn't he? He kept their backsides so warm you could have fried eggs and bacon on them. A fine book, Dad. But I don't suppose this bunch of morons we have got here will ever read it because, by the look of them, they're never going to learn to read anything." "I have read it," Matilda said quietly. The Trunchbull flicked her head around and looked carefully at the small girl with dark hair and deep brown eyes sitting in the second row. "What did you say?" she asked sharply. "I said I have read it, Miss Trunchbull." "Read what?" "Nicholas Nickleby, Miss Trunchbull." "You are lying to me, madam," the Trunchbull shouted, glaring at Matilda. "I doubt there is a single child in the entire school who has read that book, and here you are, an unhatched shrimp sitting in the lowest form there is, trying to tell me a whooping great lie like that. Why do you do it? You must take me for a fool? Do you take me a fool, child?" "Well," Matilda said. Then she hesitated. She would like to have said, "Yes, I jolly well do," but that would have been a suicide. "Well, she said again, still hesitating, still refusing to say no. The Trunchbull sensed what the child was thinking and she didn't like it. "Stand up when you speak to me," she snapped. "What is your name?" Matilda stood up and said, "My name is Matilda Wormwood, Miss Trunchbull." Unquote. Even if you're little, you can do a lot. साइज से कोई मतलब नहीं. सभी, चाहे वो छोटे हो या बड़े, सभी कुछ न कुछ बड़ा बदलाव ला सकते हैं. So, why not get hold of an interesting book, start inculcating the habit of reading, और मटिल्डा की तरह एक बड़ा बदलाव लाएं.
Like stories, we all love music, don't we? A good poem with rhyme and rhythm creates music. Here we have Anjangmai mom and Sakelu Chikro reciting a delightful poem, "A House is a House for Me" by Mary and Hoberman, a great American poet. Hoberman's poem, "You Read to Me, I Read to You," have been giving the joy of reading to hundreds of children across Lohit and Anzau.
A hill is a house for an ant. A hive is a house for a bee. A hole is a house for a mole or a mouse. A house is a house for me. A house is a house for me. A web is a house for a spider. A bird builds its nest in a tree. There's nothing so snug as a bug in a rug. And a house is a house for me. And a house is a house for me. A coop, that's a house for a chicken. A stile, that's a house for a sow. A fore, that's where sheep all gather to sleep. A barn, that's a house for a cow.
Boo.
It is also, of course, a house for a horse. A kennel is a house for a dog.
Boo. Boo.
A dog is a house for a flea. But when a dog strays, a flea sometimes stays, and then it may move on me, and then it may move on me. Houses for rabbits are hutches. A house for a mule is a shed. A castle is a house for a duchess. A bedbug beds down in a bed. Mosquitoes like mud holes or puddles. Whales need an ocean or sea. A fish or a snake may make do with a leg, but a house is a house for me. But a house is a house for me.
Librarians in India can never forget this mathematics professor known as the father of library science in India. He is Dr. S.R. Ranganathan. Here's Rinya Dellang introducing us this brilliant scholar who brought new light to libraries in India.
Do we remember anyone as we go to a good library? We should. He is Dr. S.R. Ranganathan, known as the father of library science in India. It was he who planned to modernize the book management in our libraries. That's why his birthday, August 12, is observed every year as the National Librarians' Day in our country. Professor Ranganathan was a mathematics professor in Madras University during 1930s. But how did he become the father of library science? Seeing the condition of the university library and how lacks of books are not reaching students, he started working to make books easily available to readers. He developed the column classification of books. Thus, a number of libraries benefited and have become more user-friendly to readers. Professor Ranganathan's most notable contribution was his 5 laws of library science. They are: Number 1. Books are for use. Number 2. Every reader has his/her book. Number 3. Every book has its reader. Number 4. We must save the time of the readers. Number 5. The library is a growing organism. On this World Book Day, let us pay our respect to Dr. S.R. Ranganathan.
Indian classical music has always been giving a great stress on Guru Shishya Parampara. That means a learner of music studies devotedly under a guru. Thus, many great artists and composers emerge. Ashapmai Dellang and Behelti Amma, students of Carnatic music of Kalakshetra, Chennai, present us a famous kriti.
Puchi Srinivas Iyengar was a great singer and composer of Carnatic music. He studied music under Patnam Subramaniam Iyer, a singer of Carnatic music, and came in the Shishya Parampara of Saint Tyagaraja. He had a large number of disciples, of whom the most popular was Aryagudi Ramanuja Iyengar. He composed over 100 songs and used the mudra Srinivasa in his compositions. Now we are going to recite one of his popular composition, Varnam Ninnu Kore, in Ragam Mohanam, Settu Adi Talam. Lalo ganaya kanupa limpa samaya mura namida krabaju dara gari gari sari sari sagari ga sari sada sari gari ga pa da pa ga pa da sari gari ga sari da sa pa da sari ga sa da pa gari sari ko ri Sanutaga Srinivasa Sanutaga Srinivasa Gari Sarida Rida Sa Ri Gari Sanutaga Srinivasa Gari gari sari ga ga pa da sari ga ga da pa gari ga ga sa da pa gari san ta ga shri nivasa pa da pa gari sari gari sa da sari ga pa da sa da pa gari san ta ga shri nivasa Sari gari sari sada sada pa gari sari sa Sari gari sari sada sada pa gari sari sa Sa sari ri ga ga pa pa da sari gari gari da sari sari sa pa da sada ga pa da ri sada pa gari sari sanuta ga shri nivasa Taga Shri.
Why do you like a story? A good writer can create an interesting story even if it is very brave. Sakelu, Chikro and Laxmi Ngadong present us one such story in Mishmi language.
What makes a good story? Climax? Suspense? Here is one story from England. The author is Kevin Crossley Holland, also a poet who has won the Carnegie Award. You know, reading is fun once you find out your favorite book. Kevin Crossley's book Short is one of them which caught my interest in reading more and more of his stories. His stories are a wonderful mix of the best short stories, be it scary, fun, mystery, suspense, and many more. Here is a short story by Kevin, translated in my own mother tongue.
Sir mangwan mambu na krepit sir. Ngid mo mambu mo knan hi bui manrad landong ka aklam hai hattai dan krepit kralat sehlam tau ngong ka hattai hamadla. Waratamay lai ka krepit san gahi thai kloka. Ha ha ha! Promang na krahi nganchlanin. Tongin ra nyonin chupui vita chapyomang. Kumo vichamin.
Kay shan lai doi, kinwi ay chalo. Nyo shan lai doi wan kat me kara kinwi ay sat.
Mai, chamin so. Kenya vinay mutunyong. Tongin ra thum kramang so.
Nyo pa shan nay maray nay, shan da asaw kachay.
Shan nay do shashnin. Ngit kin samla shan nay machane. Nyonin thum kramang so.
Sat mi so sera, mathum bay kin lai mo gyat shu. Wan mara shan nay kacha shu.
Doshnin, chantun man.
Kin shan nay mapan makat nahi, tathum makud. Asaw ko ha thum lara, kin atma ne shanti mathan mang. Wehi kin apui webui mo pratna takati phishu.
Yui, anay ta chay sammo. Kachunin, chow mo ne kachunin. Pratna mo phay krung ke rangmin. Krepit san, kumo kat nay ka, pratna kat klotaw.
Quack,
quack, quack, quack, quack, quack. Vin pratna van ngit nga sam madam kat kulo taw. Atisa nambong san ksit ka gyat shunin. Kin kaman lai an tungit tunga sa sanamam taw. Mitong lai tak tang rukaim taw. Nyunin ne thong thai me. Asaw tasam mai si mera tungit li ka kin kaman lai ka mitong sa mitong rohi tang kraw ye. Wan mai ra kin kaman lai an tamay lai hi song san sa san tak tang ma gai taw me. Kaman pit nay hula to mitong sa vi nay kaman lai hi ka sư ta sai fi shunin. Asaw mo hi phaila kat ye promang nay.
A good reader needs a support of a good library. We have quite a few public libraries open to all in TEZU. Are you a visitor to one of these? It is time our grown-ups, parents, housewives, college students start using these libraries and start creating stories, poems and writing